Hey guys, Alex here with the Royal Rumble review. Pay-per-view just went off the air. I actually had a bit of trouble seeing it tonight. I had to do a stream because Buffalo Wild Wings apparently isn't showing pay-per-views right now. Go figure. Whatever. Anyway, we start off the night with the steel cage match for the World Heavyweight title with Daniel Bryan, Big Show, and Mark Henry. This match was pretty good. I do think this match suffered a little bit because Mark Henry was wrestling injured. He had been injured on SmackDown on Tuesday night. And so basically it came down to Bryan and Big Show to have a match, and they basically knock out Mark Henry and let those two go on for a little bit. And Mark Henry had a few good spots here. This match was good, had a lot of good chemistry, good storytelling. Basically, Bryan just trying to get out of the cage the whole time, and Big Show just really trying to be the big guy and take out the wall to punishment. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And although I do think Bryan got the short end of the stick, he basically got the shit kicked out of him most of the match, but I'm just kind of hoping that they make him look better at the Elimination Chamber, but, it was a good match still. I'll give it 3 1/4. I had fun with it. Then you had an impromptu match of Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and the Bella Twins versus Kelly, Eve, Alicia Fox, and Tamina. This match was actually pretty good, got a lot of time. Surprising amount for a Divas match. They had the classic, just everyone getting tagged in, working over, blah, 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 blah. Nothing really special. But Kelly did a nice little dive to the outside off the top rope to everyone, which was kind of cool. Beth Phoenix showed a little bit more aggression here, where she finished, basically just got in the match and just said, let me finish this, and just boom, glam slam to Kelly for the win. But I enjoyed it. It was, short enough that it didn't hinder the whole show, and had a good enough action, and they had a nice little spot there. So I give it 2 stars just for being, pretty good at what it was there for. Then we had John Cena versus Kane, and I don't think anyone was looking forward to this match going into it, and this match was boring. Nothing happened. It was basically Kane, throat thrust, boot, choke, whatever, just boring. No chemistry, it seemed like, in this match. I feel like they just should have made this match a no disqualification match. It would have worked better. And they just went outside the ring and brawling and had to count out, go to the back. Kane takes out John with a chair, brings in Zack right out of the ring, tombstones him. John Cena comes out to try to save him, choke slams John. That's it. Boring. And I think this feud has just proven why you shouldn't do Attitude Era gimmicks anymore. This whole Kane pulling Zack Ryder to try to blow him to hell, Zack Ryder getting beat the shit out of for 4 weeks in a row is just doing nothing for him. So hopefully by the time WrestleMania rolls around, WWE get their act together on Zack Ryder and actually treat him better. Because right now this is not helping him, and you're fucking ruining his career, I think. I give it 2 stars, being generous. I probably should give it less, but I'll be generous because at least the backstage brawling thing, and at least it was something. It was at least somewhat entertaining, but that's about it. And I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't give it that much, but I feel like I should. Then we had another impromptu match, which is Drew McIntyre versus Brodus Clay. Basically, classic Brodus Clay match. I give it NA just because it was a minute-long match. Brodus Clay, I enjoy Brodus Clay. I find him funny. I find it kind of a goofy gimmick, and it makes me smile and it makes me laugh when he comes out. So yeah, it was alright. It was like 3 minutes, so I'll deal with it. But I don't know what they're doing with Drew McIntyre. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know why they're basically burying the guy, but they probably should stop if they're going to make this guy relevant at all. So there you go. Then we had the WWE Championship match with CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler, with John Laurinaitis as the he basically wasn't the special guest referee. He became kind of the enforcer, like he'd help out if the referee needed it or whatever, I guess. Well, whatever. So Dolph, I kind of like that because it finally removed John Laurinaitis from the equation of the Dolph Ziggler CM Punk feud and let those two have just a match and not have to worry about Laurinaitis. He was basically uninvolved until the very end. And these two had a great match again. These guys got such good chemistry. I really want to see these guys have a longer feud, have a longer match, and eventually have Dolph Ziggler beat CM Punk for the WWE title. He didn't do it tonight, obviously, because WrestleMania is right around the corner. You don't put a title on a rookie champion right before WrestleMania. It's just common sense, I think. But good match between these two, and I think their television match was a little bit better, though. I think they got a little bit more time. I don't know. Maybe just more excitement. I do kind of agree with my buddy of mine who said that Dolph Ziggler didn't really get a lot of offense in, but at the same time, CM Punk is the champion. CM Punk should be the one who gets most of the offense in. CM Punk's the champ. He's the better wrestler by definition of being the champion. And, you could argue that, the whole week that, Dolph Ziggler had CM Punk's number because of John Laurinaitis interfering, kind of. So, I think they made Ziggler look good enough and then bury him. The ending was alright. It was a little too clustery, or, they teased John Laurinaitis not interfering or not costing CM Punk the match, but it didn't happen. Obviously, just because of the whole Triple H thing that's going to go on Raw tomorrow night. But, it was a good match. Like I said, I think I've seen better matches than these guys on television, but I give it 3 3/4. Almost 4 stars. I think if they had given it a little bit longer and Dolph had given it a little bit more offense, it would have been better. Although there was one spot where Punk went for the GTS and Ziggler got a Famouser or whatever it's called. I don't know, the thing that Billy Gunn used to do. And, that really got a few people going like, oh, he's going to win right here, So, good job on a false finish. Then we had the Royal Rumble match, and this, every year the Rumble is good, no matter what. And some people didn't like this, I liked it, okay? Some memorable spots were, one, Alex Riley versus The Miz, and then R-Truth versus The Miz at the beginning was kind of cool, just kind of, building off those feuds. Miz actually did really well this year. He went almost all the way to the final, 6, maybe this final 8, I don't remember. But really good year this year for The Miz. So he really did very good job. I think good job of keeping him kind of a main eventer right there. Big moment where Mick Foley came out. He actually came out pretty early, and he didn't get to interact with Dolph Ziggler at all. He got eliminated pretty fast, so, not really fast. He was in maybe 7 minutes or so. But he didn't get to interact with Dolph Ziggler, so maybe we're not going to see that match at WrestleMania that a lot of people were hoping for, unfortunately. Their big little, tease moment was when they played Alberto Del Rio's music, and it was like, oh man, Alberto's back, and then this crappy card balls up, and it's Ricardo Rodriguez, and just the crowd went fucking freaked out for that. They were chanting Ricardo. Him and Mick Foley had a nice little funny thing. Santino came out, and him and Mick Foley locked the Cobra and Mr. Sacco, which was pretty funny. All 3 of the announcers got in the match, which I wasn't crazy about, because it's kind of a waste. They didn't really do anything. Even Booker T didn't even go after Cody Rhodes the whole time during the thing. Even Michael Cole got in there, which was just oh, great. But the best part about Michael Cole in there was, guess who made the return? Karma, who entered the Rumble and basically knocked Michael Cole's fucking head off, and eliminated 2 people. Really just threw Hunico right over the top rope. Really impressive. I'm so happy that Karma's back. Really happy that she's back. You saw Hacksaw Jim Duggan back in the Rumble again, like he is every year now. I think it's kind of a tradition now, I guess, to just have him in the Rumble, which I'm fine with. It gets the crowd gets a pop out of it, so it's fun. Road Dogg showed up, people were chanting, "You still got it." He looked pretty good, he could still go a little bit. I don't know if I ever want to see him in a return match, though. I'm trying to remember anyone else. I will say, though, that they did give a few spots away to nobodies. Jimmy Uso or Jay Uso, one of the Uso brothers, got a spot, and, it's like, no one cares about these 2 guys, and you can't really tell the difference between them. Hunico and Epico really didn't do anything. I don't think they should have had a spot. Hunico, and then Primo was in there too. The 3 announcers shouldn't have been given spots, I don't think. But, a lot of people didn't like the Rumble just because of who won, which it was Sheamus, actually. Very surprising, actually. It came down to Sheamus and Chris Jericho, and it was like, oh, it's going to be Chris Jericho. Everyone knows it's going to be Chris Jericho. Why did they put Sheamus in there? And then they had a nice little back and forth battle, actually, really impressive. And Sheamus managed to bro kick Y2J right out of the ring, and just like, holy shit, Sheamus did it. And some people are bitching about, oh, why would they do this? Why are they doing this? But I said this, is the Rumble is supposed to be about someone getting the once-in-a-lifetime shot at WrestleMania. This is their one chance at going to WrestleMania and getting them for the belt. You look in the past, in the past it's been used as a way to, jumpstart people up in the main event. Stone Cold Steve Austin back in 1997, 96, I think, when he won the Royal Rumble right after King of the Ring, when he became a big star. Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit got their big break because of the Rumble. You could even Berto Del Rio, he didn't really work out that well, but still he's in the main event picture now because of after winning the Rumble. So it's just, it's not a big deal that Sheamus won. I think it's a very pleasant surprise, and I think just WWE is just basically doing this to shut up the internet people. Finally getting the people to not believe everything they read on the internet, because everyone was saying, "Oh, Chris Jericho's going to win. Chris Jericho's going to win. He's going to face CM Punk," which it's still going to happen. But I don't think he needed to win the Rumble. Give it to Sheamus. Sheamus deserves the push, and plus, you're building up Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan as your next big heel on SmackDown. Sheamus is your next big face. Let those two have a match. You already got enough star power in WrestleMania. You got CM Punk and Chris Jericho are going to have a match probably. You're going to have The Undertaker back. You're going to have Rock vs. Cena. That's enough star power. Let two up-and-comers have a match for the world title, and let's see what they can do. So, I liked it. All in all, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Almost a 7, but I just can't in good conscience give it anything higher than 6.75, because the middle was just fucking boring and just blah. But the last two matches were good. The Rumble had me marking out like crazy. Almost forgot. One of the best Rumble moments of the night, even better than John Morrison last year when he did the whole Spider-Man shit, was Kofi Kingston getting basically pushed out of the ring and doing a handstand and walking on his hands back to the ring, or back over to the steel stepping in mega ring. That was crazy, awesome moment. That's definitely going to be a Royal Rumble moment for the rest of WWE history, basically. But like I said, good Rumble. I'm going to give it I gave it a 4 stars, 4.25. 4.25, just because it was a mark-out match. Great spots, and good surprises, good returns, and a very shocking winner. And that's what you kind of want in a Rumble. You want a surprise. But that's it for me. Take care. Bye.